Hello everybody, we're doing part 2 of training our students as a community for their differences and issues and very, and their very concerning functions as a result of psychological emotional trauma. So if you watch part 1, you'll see that breathing is the #1 driver, redirector, functional skill set to bring your stress hormones down. So we are in this very, very cool narrow path of being responders, not being reactors to stress. So yoga, as I always say, has really become super popular. People have benefited greatly because yoga is a parasympathetic exercise, function, lifestyle, skill set that people learn that allows your stress hormones to come down. Now, in addition to that, you learn to be more flexible. You learn to get a steady mindset. The mindset is inevitable. So when we say mindset, whether you're trying or not, your frontal lobes become more aware. They become more cognizant. They become more available to you because your stress hormones are down. Why is that? Well, as we're training our students in the masses, it's very important that we train our students in a differentiated way to understand that when we're in a sympathetic function, fight or flight, our brain is extremely wired. Our pupils are dilated. Our mouth is always open because God has wired it so we can see and be hyper vigilant to the details of survival while we're gaining more access to air that we think we need. That's why we say the deer in the headlights. When a deer sees a car coming, it does this. What does that mean? The body stops moving, the eyes get dilated so it can focus on the threat, and the mouth opens to get more oxygen. Just like if I scared my wife, she's downstairs in the middle of the night getting a drink of water, I jump out of the pantry, boo! Does she do this? And with the breath out, or does she do this? She does this. Her eyes dilate, her mouth is open, and she brings in oxygen in order to save herself. So with that being said, it's so important for us to know that the fight or flight is all oxygen generated, stress hormone boosted, and hyperperfused, which means increased blood flow that makes everyone at risk for using their hands and running with their feet, because that's where the blood initially flows, hands and feet, which is why when people get stressed or they're angry or they have trauma and there's a trigger, they punch or they grab, they rip paper up. That's why. So we don't want to look at the kids as they are so disciplinary challenged or they just don't care or they're little tiny people like little adults who are sociopaths. These are people who react to what the neuroanatomy says you do when you're highly at risk, particularly when the brain perceives that it's life-threatening. So let's walk through this. When we're working with the community, which means the masses, the first thing we taught was to breathe in through your mouth, in through your nose, not your mouth, in through your nose for 3 seconds. And if you have to do your mouth first, let's do the mouth. And we want to do this in a sequence of no less than in and out is 1 repetition, 10 repetitions. Then we want to build it to double, 20 repetitions. And then we always want to get it to 30 repetitions. And then we can start with, 30 seconds. Then we want to build it to 60 seconds. For all my clients, all my schools, all my students, patients, whatever, I always want to get people to do these tools in 2-minute increments. 2 minutes. Why 2 minutes? Because stressful circumstances always last for at least 2 minutes. If you're getting jumped outside, someone's trying to steal your car, always count on 120 seconds. If your house is on fire, you have 2 minutes to get out of the house or you will burn up. If you're on a football field, your cortisol rush that is going to make you the ultimate aggressor is going to last for a good 2 minutes, and then it's going to want to start coming down. So we got to keep boosting, our energy levels to be far more superior than our cortisol levels. Because once your cortisol starts to drop, you will get tired, you will become dormant, or you are ready to go to sleep for the next 3 days. So that cortisol depletion is really what makes people almost seem chronically fatigued. So when we're treating the masses, we're working with all of our students. First thing we want to do is get the breathing. We always start with number 1, in through the nose, out the mouth. Number 2, in through the nose, out the nose. Number 3, in through the nose, out the nose, twice as long. So watch how this works. I'm going to breathe in through the nose. Ready? Go. Out the nose. In. Out. See how the first time I went through the nose and out the nose 6 seconds? But then it got hard for me and I want to continue with 6 seconds out. So I went in through the nose and out the mouth for 6 seconds because it's harder to do in the nose, out the nose breathing, but that's perfect breathing. So when I'm training for an event, I'm training a pro athlete or one of my patients who is recovering from, let's say, autoimmune disorder, we train them on how to drink a bottle of water from start to finish without stopping by breathing through the nose. That gets nose breathing moving at such a high rate, meaning they're performing at a different skill level. Most people that drink water will drink gulp, 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 stop. Gulp, 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 stop. We call them mouth breathers. We don't want to be mouth breathers. We want to be nose breathers. So our video number 2 is extending the exhale to be twice as long as the inhale. And we want to scale this, guys. The whole school could be doing this at the same time. Early morning announcement in your school. Good morning, everybody. This is Principal Buzz. And I just want to thank everybody for being here and your attendance and being on time and being prepared with your schoolwork and having a great day. And we have 3 details of gratitude that we share at our school. We are happy to be part of our community. We are happy to be part of this wonderful school and school district, and we are happy to be well and to be safe, be secure, and in our school we're going to be responsible, respectful, and safe. So I want to thank everybody for being here today, and before we get started with just different details that'll take place today, let's practice twice. 2 repetitions, breathing in for 3 seconds and breathing out of your nose for 3 seconds. And remember, school, all 1,300 of you, we always breathe in through our nose to humidify the air in your chest, and we always breathe out of our nose in order to maintain that same level of heat and temperature. So our vascular system is just staying free, staying loose, it's staying safe. And we want to do this all together. Why? We are high performing people. Here we go. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3. And breathing out. 1, 2, 3. And everyone breathing in. 1, 2, 3. And to the best of your ability, breathing out with your nose. 1, 2, 3. Great job, students. I'm so proud of you. As you know, your teachers will be working on this throughout the day because we are a calm, responding community of lovely people who want to be high achievers, who want to be safe, responsible, and always be respectful to each other. And let's talk about what is going on through the rest of our day. Today, we have a basketball game against our arch rivals, blah, 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 blah. It takes like a couple minutes. We can do this. But again, breathing. Don't look for a silver bullet. I have too many educators that come to me and say, what about this really big toolkit of techniques? Well, where are you fitting that in? You know, you have to think simple. People are breathing all day. They can practice this while they're listening, learning. They're watching the teacher write on the whiteboard and they're going, or while the teacher says, listen, while everyone's writing on the whiteboard. And this is part 2. We have multiple parts to keep going. This is something that we all need, and the teachers are involved in this. When the psychologists, counselors, guidance counselors, interventionists are meeting with students who are still having a difficult time, they start off the day, the session, the activity, saying, before we start, let's all breathe. Let's do 30 seconds. Ready? And close your eyes. And why do we close our eyes? Because we have cognizance. We can focus on in our brain counting 1, 2, 3. Picture in a timeline. Watching the air flow in, watching the air come out. We have some students going in through the nose and they feel more comfortable going out the mouth. Some are able to do in through the nose, out the nose. The ones who are graduated to in the nose, out the nose can help the students learn in the nose, out the nose, because they're still in the nose, out the mouth breathers. This is not complicated. It's got to be a dedication of your fundamental toolbox where you are making an effort to schedule as many times you can through a day to learn these very specific tools to every single person on this planet needs. There isn't one person on this planet that doesn't need these tools, because we are all going to suffer some form of psychological and emotional trauma sometime during our lifetime. All right, so that's part 2. Let's keep going. In for a certain amount of seconds, out for double the amount of time. Appreciate you guys, and keep pushing. Follow the Dr. Buzz method, everybody. Just follow it. Please, please, it'll never do you wrong. It will never let you down.